Welcome to the It Factor. We're Jimmy and Nye, exploring a new blog post by Mr. Len Kaplan, CEO of CDML and MSP in Queens, NY, offering network management, voice over IP and UCAS, cybersecurity, compliance, IaaS, cloud, and Microsoft 365, and Azure solutions. If you're a small business owner or manage IT for a growing organization, this episode is for you. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the article titled HIPAA Compliance Series Part 2, Why Vendors May Be Your Weakest Link. Our mission is to unpack why, even for the most diligent businesses, your vendors can sometimes be the most vulnerable point in your data security, especially when it comes to protected health information, or PHI.
That's exactly right. The Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA pronounced HIPAA, it's all about protecting that patient health information. But, we often think of healthcare providers first. This article really highlights that the whole chain of compliance, it's only as strong as its weakest link. And yeah, that often turns out to be a vendor.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The article jumps right into a really crucial term, business associates. Who exactly is a business associate under HIPAA?
Right. A business associate, or BA, is essentially any vendor or partner who creates, receives, maintains, or transmits protected health information, that's PHI, on behalf of the covered entity. The covered entity is usually the healthcare provider, like the doctor's office or hospital.
Okay.
And the key takeaway from Mr. Kaplan's article is if a vendor touches PHI, even indirectly, they are accountable under HIPAA.
So it's not just the obvious ones, the doctors and hospitals themselves.
No, definitely not.
What are some common examples then? The kinds of BAs a small business owner might actually be working with, maybe without even realizing the HIPAA connection?
Yeah, good question. The article lists several categories. You've got your IT and managed service providers, MSPs. They're often deep in your systems.
Right, managing networks, data.
Exactly. Then billing services, obviously handling sensitive info. Cloud providers, software as a service SaaS providers too.
Even if the data is just stored in email or some app.
Yep. If PHI is stored there, they're likely a BA. Also, law firms, accountants, if they access PHI for cases or audits.
Huh. Even lawyers.
Potentially, yes. And maybe surprisingly, even marketing or analytics firms if they're handling patient communications in some way.
Wow, okay. So that net is cast pretty wide.
It really is.
So these BAs, they carry significant weight. What are their specific legal responsibilities when it comes to HIPAA? What does the law require them to do?
Well, just like the healthcare providers, vendors must comply with HIPAA. The article is super clear on this. Their obligations include, first off, signing a business associate agreement, or BAA. That needs to happen with every covered entity client.
The BAA. That sounds important.
It's crucial. It's a legal contract outlining everyone's responsibilities for protecting PHI.
Okay, what else?
They also need to implement security safeguards, administrative, physical, and technical ones. Think policies, locked doors, encryption.
The whole spectrum.
Right. And they have to report any data breaches according to the contract and HIPAA rules, which can be pretty strict. And super important, training all employees who might access PHI. Human error is a huge factor in breaches.
Okay, now here's something that really jumped out at me from the article. It says, and I'm quoting here, without a signed BAA, providers and vendors alike are already out of compliance even before a single record is shared.
That's it. It's foundational. No BAA, you're non-compliant from day one. It's a huge warning sign.
For both sides, provider and vendor.
Absolutely. Both are at risk.
The article doesn't just talk theory, though. It gives some real-world examples of vendors messing up. What does the enforcement history from the Office for Civil Rights, the OCR, actually show us?
Yeah, the OCR, they're the ones who enforce HIPAA. They have definitely put BAs in their sites. It's not just providers getting fined anymore. As Mr. Kaplan's article points to cases like good ARCs. They got penalized pretty heavily for sharing user health data with advertisers without getting the right authorization.
Ouch. Sharing data with advertisers.
Yeah, big no-no under HIPAA without proper consent. Then there were some behavioral health firms fined, I think it was over $200,000, for basic stuff like failing to encrypt PHI.
Encrypting meaning scrambling the data so it can't be read easily.
Exactly. Converting sensitive data into code. They also failed to do proper risk analyses to find their own weaknesses.
Basic security practices, really.
Pretty much. And IT vendors, too. They've been hit with penalties when things like unencrypted backups or insecure servers expose thousands of patient records.
So the consequences are real. Fines, bad publicity.
Definitely. And here's the kicker from the article. Providers cannot claim ignorance. HIPAA makes them equally liable for their vendors' mistakes.
Equally liable. That's huge for the small business owner listening. You can't just outsource the risk.
No, you absolutely cannot, which leads right into this weakest link idea the article talks about.
Right, the chain metaphor. Explain that a bit.
Okay, so think of HIPAA compliance like a chain. Every link needs to be strong. Your internal controls, your vendors' controls. A provider, like your business, might have fantastic security internally. Airtight systems, trained staff, everything locked down.
Doing everything right on their end.
Exactly. But then maybe your billing company, a vendor, leaves an unencrypted laptop full of your patient data in an unlocked car.
Oh, boy.
Or your IT vendor, maybe they miss a critical security patch on a firewall. Suddenly, there's a hole. The article puts it starkly. The provider's own strong systems don't matter if the vendor link breaks. The whole compliance effort can just collapse.
And the provider pays the price, too.
Fines, lawsuits, damaged reputation, the works. It underscores why vendor selection and oversight are so critical.
Okay, so this means you have to be constantly vigilant. The article gives a really useful vendor and provider action checklist. Let's break that down. What should the vendors themselves be doing?
Right. For vendors listening, the article lays out some clear steps. First, we already hit this, but always sign that BAA with every client. No exceptions.
Non-negotiable.
Got it. Second, encrypt all PHI, both at rest, meaning when it's just sitting on a server or drive.
Like in storage.
Yep. And in transit, meaning when it's being sent, like over email or networks, needs strong encryption both ways.
Okay. Encryption everywhere. What's third?
Conduct regular risk assessments and vulnerability testing. You have to actively look for your own weaknesses before attackers do.
Proactive, not reactive.
Exactly. Fourth, train all staff on HIPAA regularly. Make sure they understand the rules and the risks.
People are often the first line of defense or failure.
So true. And fifth, have solid plans for incident response and disaster recovery. Know exactly what to do if a breach happens or systems go down.
That's a solid list for vendors. Now, flip side, what about the providers? The small business owners, the IT managers listening, what should they be doing to protect themselves from this vendor risk?
Great question. For the providers, the article recommends several key actions. First, verify that every vendor handling PHI has a signed BAA in place. Don't just assume, get a copy, check it.
Due diligence.
Absolutely. Second, don't just file the BAA away. Audit your vendor's compliance regularly. Ask them questions, maybe request reports.
Check up on them.
Yep. Third, ask for proof. Proof of encryption, proof of their latest risk analysis, proof of employee training. You have the right to ask.
Demand evidence.
You got it. And finally, be prepared to act. If a vendor isn't willing or able to meet HIPAA standards, you need to be ready to remove them or replace them. It's your compliance on the line, too.
That might be tough, but necessary.
It can be, but the risk of not doing it is often much higher.
Okay, so the article written by Mr. Kaplan, the CEO of CDML, also talks about how a company like CDML Computer Services can actually help manage all this complexity.
Right, because let's be honest, managing HIPAA compliance across multiple vendors, keeping track of BAAs, auditing security, it's a lot, especially for smaller organizations.
It can feel overwhelming.
For sure. So the article explains that it requires oversight, documentation, the right tech. CDML offers things like risk assessments and security audits to find those gaps, both internally and with vendors.
Finding the weak spots.
Exactly. They also offer BAA support, helping draft and review those agreements to make sure they actually protect you.
Getting the contract right.
Critical. And then secure IT solutions. This means implementing things like specific tools mentioned, like Microsoft 365 Business Premium, which has built-in encryption and security features with Defender.
Tech tools designed for security.
Right. IPA-ready cloud backups, strong firewalls like SonicWall, things that directly address those technical vulnerabilities we talked about.
Like that.
They also mention vendor oversight tools to help you track vendor compliance and employee training programs tailored to IPAA.
Covering all the bases.
Pretty much. The goal, as the article puts it, isn't just ticking a box for compliance. It's building a resilient system that protects your business from end to end.
So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway for the small business owner or IT manager listening today? This deep dive into Mr. Kaplan's article, HIPAA Compliance Series Part 2, Why Vendors May Be Your Weakest Link, it really hammers home that HIPAA compliance. It doesn't just stop at your own front door. It goes out to every single vendor, every contractor, every business associate who touches that sensitive patient data. Your organization, your security, it really is only as strong as that weakest link. And ignoring vendors, that's like, well, leaving the back door unlocked and hoping for the best.
Yeah, it really brings up a critical question, doesn't it, for everyone listening? Have you really vetted every vendor handling your sensitive data? Not just the big ones, but all of them. Do you actually have current, solid business associate agreements, BAAs, in place? And are you checking up on them? Auditing their compliance? Or just kind of hoping they're doing the right thing?
Food for thought.
Definitely. It's a crucial area to look at, given how serious the consequences can be. Protecting PHI is absolutely a shared responsibility.
If you found this deep dive helpful, please click the thumbs up button. Till next time.